Hello, and welcome to Intuitive Clarifications with Natasha. I am grateful to be here with you. I am an intuitive medium who really enjoys helping you go through your life. And so today's show, oh my gosh, I took a bite of food right before I came on, so sorry about that. But I'm so grateful. We're here in the middle of the first month of our lives in 225. And we're all in the midst of going forward in our lives. And how many of you are feeling, how many are you feeling that your emotions are totally wrung out? Well, I'm one of them too. So you're not alone if you're feeling like your emotions are very like wrung out. And I was having a conversation with somebody today and they were saying, "Oh my gosh, life is, I just don't really care anymore. I don't care if the things I don't control anymore. I used to go home and go blah 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 to the people around me and my husband and stuff like that. And she was like, I just don't. And he goes, is there still the problems? And she goes, oh yeah, but I can't control them, so why should I really discuss them? So, you're either on one perspective of that or you're on another perspective of that. And you're seeing Rocky here doing his little dance. I might have to put him out here because he's been a little snotty little boy lately because he wants my attention and I've been giving it to him, but yet he's not getting the attention that he wants. So, you know, animals are becoming more alive too. Animals are getting better at communicating. But it's like, and I pray that everybody who is going through something, and I just want to make this clear, I want to pray for those who are going through major life altering moments. We got California going through their thing. We've got a lot of people going through very cold weather. We've got, North Carolina, the Carolinas, who are, still reeling from the hurricane. I was down in Florida with Sarasota, and it seems like a lot of people are negotiating that pretty good. There's a lot of damage still, but yet, they're negotiating it. But, it's like, some places aren't ever going to be the same. And our world right now is going through this. But we're going to get kind of into the more simple things about life, which is our personal home, our personal life, our personalness, because how we treat our personal life right now is very important. And that's going to make up who we are and how we negotiate the world we're coming into. And I was listening, I was talking with a friend who's client, and I've been getting a lot of client friends, and I'm so grateful for you. And talking about redecorating. And she gave me this idea because I love decorating. I love reorganizing. I love that prospect of doing things. And in this house, brought me to the story of Feng Shui. I do the black sack type of Feng Shui, which is when you walk into a room. Feng Shui can be done as big as a city or as small as a stamp of a postage stamp. So you can Feng Shui anything. And the kind that I do, it's basically when you first walk into the room, into your property, into your sitting at your desk, whatever it is, it's where you are walking in. So in other words, it's the bottom of the page. It's the south end of a page. It's not necessarily the south end of, like, let's say on the compass, because I don't do the compass style. Now, I did do the compass for setting up my bedroom a little bit because of, the energies of where I was at in my marriage at that time, that I wanted the best for both of us. I do not do the compass style Feng Shui just because at the time that I was studying Feng Shui, it was a little bit over my dyslexic moment. So with that, I figured out, in this house that I live in, it was fine doing it with the way that you walk into a room. And I find a lot of properties when I go in and do house blessings and house clearings, or I go in and work with the energies of the property, that a lot of them are happy with just going into the room. And I'm going to be sharing some pictures, I'm hoping, because the platform that I do, StreamYard here, they shifted up some things on sharing, so I want to make sure that I'm hoping I can share here. So if you're watching this on a podcast or listening to this later on a podcast, you may want to go to my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter IC, uh, Intuitive Clarifications, to get the pictures of what I'm talking about in this show. So going into this, that, everything is full of energy. Everything. Oh my gosh. And now today's day, this 2025, really walking into finding out how much energy is around us. I know this last full moon that we had on Monday night was very powerful. It was a very powerful moon. And I know that, with Mars in retrograde right now, and it's in Cancer right now, and this full moon was in Cancer. So how many of us had the emotions that were rising up? I know today when I was at my elementary school, I don't know how many kids I told at recess, don't scream, please, because my ears were just like vibrating at a different level. And, going into this, that, we've been in the midst of big changes. And so, how many of you are finding that either your emotions are letting go of old stories, your house is letting go of old stories, your things are letting go of old stories, or there are these moments where you are negotiating these old stories? I know for me that I've been helping a girlfriend move, and oh my gosh, what great understandings have been coming out through that story. And I'm so grateful. If you didn't watch one of my videos, I actually had a moment where where she lives now, there's a dumpster, and I was able to actually throw some garbage over a dumpster because, her body, moving was a little bit tired and mine wasn't. So I was doing that, but I had my keys in my hand at the same time, which I was gonna go to my car right after that. Well, I was wearing a sweater that didn't have a pocket in it at that time, and I didn't put my keys in my back pocket. I didn't put the keys in my boot. I didn't put my keys in other places. It was in my hand. And as I threw the bag over, guess what went into the dumpster first, or with the bag, right? And my girlfriend was like, "Why aren't you upset at this?" And I'm like, "I don't know why I'm not upset. I don't get upset at these things because, for one, I want to find a way to get through it. I want to find a way to negotiate it. I want to find a way to do this." And so first thing that happened was, what's next? And that's what I was trying to find out, was what was next. And so going into this, that as we're in the story of going into life and negotiating it, that, it's like, instead of getting upset at things, try finding out what is next if you can. And, my girlfriend was actually, "Hey, I got a stool. Hey, I might have a grabber here," because she was in between homes. And so she had that. And I was thinking, well, if that doesn't work, plan A, then I'm just going to go get somebody, maybe a maintenance guy, because it was still early enough in the day that the maintenance guys was there. Right. And then actually, hi, Paula, hi, Veronica. And actually what ended up happening is that, and you got to find blessings where you can, was that they actually dumped the dumpster out first thing in the morning. Now, that could be a blessing in two ways, because actually the garbage would have been right on top. But the thing is, my keys could have filtered through, right? And I would have had more garbage to go through. But I didn't. And the dumpster, it was at the bottom, and, that kind of thing. But the thing that my girlfriend was saying, what was so funny is that, when you have something like that, you're on the edge of a dumpster, and you know, um, uh, and I was pivoting, with my hips, and I've been doing this for years, because I'm short. So I've been pivoting, getting things at the bottom of freezer. I've been pivoting, doing things. And so, you sent a text for Michael, it's like, yeah, he's been helping me a lot. I've been talking to him a lot in my own way, and doing that kind of thing. But I was pivoting, and I actually was able to grab my keys out and, wash them off a little bit. But, it's like you find the blessings where you can right now. And I know for me, like, I was listening, I was talking with my girlfriend Chandra, and, she was amped up because she had a YouTube channel that she watched about decluttering. And of course, what did I do? I stayed up last night and I got rid of an armful of clothes. And so going into this, that, feng shui and going through things and negotiating things that, we're all in the midst of energy changing. And so this is a great time, especially with the Chinese New Year coming in, the year of the snake. And so the snake is about how can you slither through your life? How can you negotiate your story? How can you find your instincts? How can you negotiate that? And you got to think about, if you crawl along the floor of your house, if you can, or where you're at or what you're doing, you don't really realize what's down there. And I know with me having a kitten last year, I really noticed at his level what he could get into. What was underneath tables, what was underneath this. And that's energy that doesn't necessarily sit well with feng shui. Now, feng shui can work with any energy. You can be a minimalist or you can be one that's not a minimalist, and you can do whatever you want. But remembering that things have energy. And right now, like my cat right now, and I'm giving him this, it's a little bit in disruption, right? Because he's been in play mode. And so with that I've been given a chance for him to play. Now, if I had somebody, I've been trying to keep it kind of cleaned up because that's the energy flowing into my spiritual room, which is my business. So I want things to be flowing in. So when you think about feng shui is about energy flow. What is the flow of energy? Now, I'm going to tell you that this is going to be just a short little snippet of what feng shui is and some basic things about feng shui and house blessings and house clearings. If you want more, I'm actually thinking about doing a class on it. If you're interested, please email me at natasha@intuitiveclarifications.com, and I would be grateful to start a class on this. Because it is very worthy. A house like my house, before I feng shuied it, it was like on edge. It was very edgy. And, I have a septic system and 2 bathrooms in my relationship corner. So, things were edgy and it was not feeling like it was at home. But when I started putting things in certain places, honoring the energy flow, I can tell you that I'm now 32 years marriage and a sober husband and a husband who's being the best he can never be. And oh my gosh, miracles are happening day in and day out because of the way that we have negotiated the story of our home, because actually in that area, and I'll show you that if you have a missing area of your house, you have to do something to negotiate, or property, you have to negotiate a way to fill that in. So in my relationship corner, actually, that's a missing part of my home too, because I have like an L kind of shape, and so that's where the septic system sits, is where the house isn't. And so I had to do a thing to make sure that part of the house was negotiated, and I'm going to show you a picture of it. So if I'm going to move my camera, so close your eyes if you get a little dizzy here, because I'm going to move things around. That is the missing part. So what I did was I did a patio. There's a roadie right there, and I did some other things. Okay. So going into this, that you can help by making that part of putting a patio, being a relationship. I made it so that it was more homey for 2 people to sit, because it's a relationship with my husband is important to me. Okay. So if I'm not making sense, please let me know. Natasha, you're not making sense, because I know this. And sometimes when people don't know things, it's a process, it's where it's a struggle. So I'm going to share something here because it's easier sometimes to see something. So present, share screen, share Chrome window tab. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go to this one. Share. And then I'm going to go to this. Let's see here. Share. Okay. So if I'm hoping you're seeing something here. Let me go back to my camera here. Okay. I didn't click on what I wanted. Okay. So I know what I need to do. Stop sharing. Sorry about this. This is my first time doing something like this, so I apologize. Let's see, go back to sharing, and then I'm going to open this up. Okay, so then that's there. Okay, so now I know what I need to share. Go back here, share screen, share, share window. There we go, share. Okay, so this is one thing. Let me get it bigger here. This is basically the kind of feng shui that I work with. So basically, at the bottom, wherever you're standing, wherever you are feeling like you're at the doorway. So let's say if you're standing at the front of your property, if you're standing at the front door of your place that you're at. Some people don't have homes, maybe a tent, it might be whatever you have, right? So wherever you're standing at the front door of where you're at the doorway of your bedroom. Okay, so now you can either have the driveway, let's say at the very far edge. You can have it in the middle of the property, or you can have it in on the right side, or you can have the door more in the left, the middle, or the right. So that is where you would walk in. Okay, so like let's say if your door is, or your property or your driveway is to your far left, you would be driving into your knowledge corner. Okay, your understanding of yourself and others, right? If it's in the middle, you're be driving into your life purpose or career. And then if it's on the far right, you'd be walking in or driving in to your helpful people um, and how you're and the travel and where you're going to be in life and how can people help you. Okay, so when you're walking in the door, anything to your far right, okay, your far right, that is your helpful people corner, okay? And this is like the Bagua. We're talking about the Bagua here. And then the next one is children and creativity. So that would be kind of like in the middle of the room, okay? And then your far right corner would be the relationship corner. So relationship could be like, say, like in the front room, it would be the relationship with the people that you have around you. That would be the relationship you want to have with people. In your bedroom, that would be the relationship with a partner, or if you want a partner. So that depends on what you would do. And then the middle of that far wall would be the fame and reputation. And then the far left corner would be your wealth and prosperity. Okay. Then in the middle of the room to your left would be your health and family. And it would be the health corner, it would be your family corner, it would be how do you negotiate. And a lot of times we deal with health problems that are in our DNA, our family stories, our family interactions. So it's perfect that family and health are in the same area, because it's one of those things that a lot of us struggle with, family stories of health, right? And then the far or the corner that is right to your shoulders, depending on where your door is or your driveway is that it would be to right to your left here. So your knowledge is something that you think about. So like for me, when I was negotiating life and doing things, that when we first moved into this house, I had my dirty clothes in my knowledge corner. Well, you know what, my dyslexia, I could not get a handle on it. I couldn't get, my brain was totally discombobulated. I had young kids, so laundry wasn't getting done all it could. I was really stressed out. Things weren't getting done the way I wanted them to. And so things like that, you know, so when I moved my dirty clothes into the closets where clothes with clothes, and I can manage it better, and I put my necklaces and my and a picture of myself, and I kept it organized. It was amazing how my brain actually functioned better. Actually, for a little while before I did that, I had dictionaries in that corner. So that the knowledge would be the corner where you'd put books. That's where you'd put things for your understandings. So it's amazing when we have the energy flow of, and I'm gonna stop sharing here, that you have where um your knowings and stories and the abilities of things. So what about a round turret? Well, a round turret would be the same kind of idea, except for you would have the bagua that would more look. Let me go back to here. Share screen. Let me go to Windows. Let me go to, okay, so I'm going to have to go back here just a second. I want to show you something here. So your bagua would kind of look like, to do share screen. So a bagua isn't necessarily square, but you can have a bagua that looks like this. Now, this is not necessary. This is kind of the idea. Now, each corner, every, so you don't necessarily have to have corners. Okay, you can have the grid is more like an octagon shape, right? So think about it in just areas more than a grid. Or think about it, because sometimes rooms are longer and sometimes they're shorter. And so if you have a longer room, remember that the bottom section or the top section might be a little bit longer, and the side walls, those areas might be a little bit more shoved up together, a little bit tighter, right? And so I hope that helps. So thinking about it, when you're doing these different colors, there, each bagua, you can Google this, and each bagua is going to have a little bit of tainted different colors on this. Now, remember that it depends on a bagua if it's focusing on the compass style or the black sack type. But the darker colors are towards the doors where you're walking in. Those are more the grays, the blacks, the navy blues. You can see the navy blue here. And then the creativity is going to be more whites and creams. And then the pinks and reds and purples are along the top. And the health is going to be green. It's going to be more rich greens. Okay. And so going into this, that we're in the midst of these big changes, and so if you can do these colors with this, and there's going to be elements that are dealing with this, but every corner can have different elements. Now remember what elements are. They're the wood, water, iron, and earth, right? So, and there's more than that, but so going and fire. And so going into this, that fire can represent a window. It can represent the color red. Fire could be the representation of light in that corner. Water can be representative of a mirror. It could be representative of a picture of water. It could be representation of uh, of like a crystal that is clear. So that could be representative of water. Now, earth can be like a clay pot. It could be a plant. Earth could be a picture of like just a good earthy picture of like the canyon. But you got to be careful of pictures. The canyons, those stories. And so when you're thinking about, and metal is metal, and then you have air, which is basically you want movement. You want to have life to have that movement going through. And like for me, you look at me and you look at my room here, and it is full, but you notice the things have spaces and air. Okay, so I'm going to go around this room. Okay, so you're thinking that this is the doorway, right? Okay, so if I'm standing at the doorway, to my right, I'm dyslexic, so I'm checking in. This is my helpful people corner. Okay, I have a Native American base. I have a story of Native American. And so I like that. But what I have is a communion of things going together. It has, like there's a picture of all the animals and humans getting together. So there's that. I also have some stones, and I have my drum, which sings music together, right? Okay, so now this part here is my creativity. Okay, so what I have is my singing bowls kind of in this area. I also have a picture of Michael. There's a window there. But what I want is I don't want the energy to go out my window all the way, but I want breath going out. So that's why I have like the angel picture. I have a crystal and I have things like that. Okay. Now I'm going to change arms here. Now this is going to be the far right corner. Okay. This is my relationship corner. Okay. Now, since this is my spiritual room, let me get it poised right here. This is my spiritual room. So I'm not going to have something personal. But what I'm going to do is like the very top shelf, that is a relationship with my husband. That's relationship with together. I have the in those the red up there is love and two people dancing together. Okay. Then I have the relationship that I have with my angels. So I have more angels blessings and statues, and that's where I have my angel books, and I have angel cards there. And then the third shelf down is the universe. So I have like I have a altar that has like animals in it. I have fairies. I have my skulls, a couple skulls there. I have like books of like the the prophet, so it's the communion right there. This next shelf is of like the animals, the fae, the trees. There's books there. I don't really have a good place for books in this room, and this shelf just kind of sung to it. So then all my books are representation of that shelf. And then I have my family albums down there. Now down here is my altar to my fairies. And so I have that energy field down here. So I have the energy with the fairies, and that's one place that they wanted to be. Okay. Now this is my reputation and who I want to be. And so I want to believe. I have the dragons up here. Now this is another doorway where in my house that this is the end of a long pathway, and so there's a lot of energy that can go out of this window. So I've had these different things put up in my window so the energy doesn't flow out, because windows energy can flow out. So this is a dual window for me. It's also my fame and reputation. It's also who but yet it actually can be an energy where energy can really flow through it. So I'm kind of doing a dual thing. I also have a cemetery that is 3 houses down the next road. And so I have to do protection in this window too, so that I don't have those energies. And so this window is holding a lot of possibilities for energy shifting. And so I've honored each one. Okay. But I also have, you see down here, I have rocks and different things. And then, this is a chest that my father-in-law made. Okay, so then this is my wealth corner over here. Now remembering that this is my spiritual room. So that's one of my altars, but I have an altar for the earth. I have different things, but I also have prosperity, because this is my prosperity corner, right? So this is my prosperity of knowledge and understanding. So I have a water flowing down into the amethyst, right? So it's all about intention. I also have crystals and I have different things. So prosperity is the balance. I also have my God box. I have, I be careful what I put in my dresser here. I have fluorite to help with chaos, lessening chaos. Okay. Then this doorway here, this is the doorway that would be my health corner, right? So I have a doorway. I have a sliding glass door that is in my health area. But what I've done is that, and yes, things are kind of done for my cat here, but I've also put green plant. I just planted that jade plant that is my mother's from a very long time ago. So that was an interesting thing. I also have, different things, and there's been different colors of green. So I have the metal, I have the earth, I have, I don't have water, but I have light, which is fire. And I do have a couple stones. Oh, and the sliding glass door is the water. Okay. Now this is my knowledge corner here. Okay. I have Jesus and I have Mother Mary as my knowledge. I have a plant. I have the hawk that is my knower. So my knowledge, I also have a nice picture here that is, with the mist and that kind of stuff. Maybe that's not the best picture for my knowledge because of the fog. But maybe if I change the picture of Jesus and the fog around, maybe I can get that changed up a little bit, right? But I also have dragonflies in that corner, right? But it's fun. So bringing out the fun. And then, since I want to feng shui my desk too, so I have different things on my desk. So if you think about my desk, that is my relationship corner where my parents and my mother of heart is. They are part of my relationship with my people, right? So you can kind of think about how you want to decorate other things. Now, this is how I'm perceived, how I'm doing. This is also a doorway of energy here. So I've been doing different things here. Okay. Going to make you dizzy here, so I don't want to do that. So when you're thinking about energy, when you're thinking about doing things, now setting the intention. Now you saw that I'm not a minimalist, right? But you can see how I have intention with what I have. Now my spiritual room is quite full because I don't try to bring this part of my business into the rest of my house. Now I have rocks, I have crystals, I have things in the rest of my house, but I don't have, my bedroom is more simple. Okay. So I'm going to show you the difference between this relationship. And let me get back here to where I'm looking here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let me see here. Open you up. Okay. Let me go back to picture. I'm going to show you the difference in this relationship corner and the relationship that I have, how I have window, this picture, share. Okay, so this is a picture of my bedroom. Excuse my bed. We don't make my bed, our bed very often. So, and my husband's been sleeping in a different way. So this is a relationship in my bedroom. Okay, now what I have here is mirrors are very important in a room. You do not want to have a bed that is, you don't want to have mirrors reflecting your bed if you are one that travels a lot in the sleep, is very eerie about that kind of agitation. Sometimes mirrors don't let you rest when you're sleeping. So if you have like mirrored closets, like I had mirrored closets, and I took them down right away. And then I put up a curtain rod and curtains in front of my closet. But what I'm liking about this is if you look about this mirror, it's a round mirror, so there's no edges on it, and it's reflecting my dragonflies that are coming together, a heart picture. So in my relationship corner, because it is just me and my husband, no kids' pictures should be in your family bed, in your bedroom. That is for other walls. That is for the walls in the hallways, that is for the front room, that is for other places. In your bedroom, if you are having a relationship or you want to have a relationship, then your family pictures should be out of your bedroom. Now, that's a personal choice. Remember, your truth is your truth. But one thing that you want is that you want it to be about you. So this picture here is about the what we said to each other at our wedding. Okay, and this picture, or this statue that I found, which I cleared it once I found it, because I found it at a thrift store, but I wanted to clear the energy, so I cleared the energy with that it's about a man and a woman embracing each other and holding each other. Okay, I also have plants that here are doing things. I also have things that said love. I have a rose quartz. I have a shungolite, which is about that energy of flow and possibility. So I'm also going to go above my bed here. Now remember, there's different parts of this room. So where my drum is, that is creativity. We are sleeping actually to the east. The window that you're looking at is facing the east. And so the new beginnings, where our head is facing to the east, which is new beginnings, but the creativity. And so that is a drum that my husband, the deer offered him for his yearly hunt. And then I made the drum with his with that hide, and then 3 other drums that are in the house and other places. And then I have feathers, and so there's that creativity. Now, we both are very intuitive, and so I put dream catchers on each window. And then you see here, do you see the swag above the windows? Well, there again, like I was saying, I live close to a cemetery. I am very one that can pull in a lot of energy. And so each of my bedroom, I did a chain of stones that go across each of my windows for protection, for honoring, for doing the blessing. And so going into this, that there is a way to do protection, and stones and honoring that can be very good. I also have shoe dogs in this window right here, and then one over on my window, because I have a window there's windows that surround our bed. And so when you're thinking about that I wanted to have this protected around me. Okay. I hope this is making sense. Lovely spiritual room. Thank you very much. So going into this, we all have these moments where we're wanting. Now, remembering you can, the front, the meme that I put for this show is a bagua of the colors and the beings. Now, remember what I showed you at the beginning, and then that round one that you can use, Paula. I hope that helped for your yurt to negotiate that. So thinking about that, and boy, time is just moving right along, isn't it? I knew this was going to be quick. So that's the basics about Feng Shui. So remembering that if you have an empty box, if you have a broken piece, if you have, like if you have broken pieces and an empty box in your health corner, think about how your health is feeling, right? If you're having, you want green. Oh, I want to show you. Let me see if I can find it here, because I want to show you my health corner. Nope, 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 nope. I want to go here. So I want to go down here. Let me see if I can. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this was. I'm going to share. This is my health corner in my bedroom. So that's the middle of your for your left side, the middle of your left side. This is what I wake up to in my health corner. Okay. So I have green. This is a wild rhodie that's blooming. You're seeing the light of my bedroom here. This is an eternity plant. This is a statue of Mother Mary that I've gotten since I was a kid. I went to a special reading group at a church for my dyslexia when I was a kid. And so she's that. I also have malachite here, which is green. I have selenite here. I have an angel here, and I have different stones. Now I also have a mom kitty and a kitten kitty. That's something that I just have that's from my family heirloom. And so I also have Ganesh here. Also, I also have some bells here, because I sometimes pick it up and I just ring it. Ringing a bell can be a good way to clear energy. And so if I want to clear something, so if I'm having a little bit of problems with my health, this butterfly is about transformation. It's about movement. It's about being better. It's about the story of where I'm at and that kind of stuff. So that's a representation of green. It has all the different metals in it, right? It has Ganesh's metal. There's the earth element. This stone, more white, represents water. And then I have the light. This is a sun. I also have a salt lamp in my bedroom. And the salt lamp is behind this picture. So it just gives this nice glow that goes around behind my picture, because you know how sometimes salt lamps are very powerful and they're too bright. So that's how I've dimmed down my salt lamp, is that I put it behind this picture. So you can see almost the orange glow of the salt lamp behind here. So that's always warm and going forward in the day. Okay. So as we are negotiating this story about how to negotiate things, remembering that coloring is important. And when you're talking about a color of an area, you don't necessarily have to stick to that color, but you want to have a representation. So if and every corner or every area of the bagua has an intention of, let's say, metal is more important of the elements, or wood is more important of the elements, or water is more the importance of the elements. And you want to be careful of pictures of water and mirrors, again, because they can be very powerful. They can be portals to directions. So you don't necessarily want to have a mirror when you are walking into a place, because you don't want to have that reflecting back at you all the time. um, Giving me great ideas to move my bedroom around and remove my family pictures. It's a great thing. Now, when you're walking into a bedroom, the best thing you can do is, if you can, now every bedroom is like this, but you want to be careful of your bed, with your feet going out a window or out a doorway, because that is representation of you leaving your body. Okay, so I wouldn't want my bed to be facing that window, right? And my side of the bed actually faces that window. But what I've done is I've drawn the curtain around, and I've also put something powerful there. I have a picture. I have a statue of a dragon right there. So I've been keeping my empowerment there, and it's right next to my health corner. So I want to be careful of that. So you want to be careful. But the way that you want your bed is, when you're walking in the door, you want it off to your side, so that the energy's not flowing right onto your bed, but you can be ready. So if you can see who's walking in your bedroom, it's a power position. Okay, like a desk, you don't want your desk sitting, if you're in an office, you don't want the desk sitting behind the door. You want it sitting in a far corner, or a corner where you can see people coming forward. You do not want to have a window behind your desk, because of the fact that you don't want your energy to flow out or feel like people are looking in. Now, my desk is not necessarily in the best place, but I don't use that desk. Okay, I use my round table. Let me see if I can do this here. I knew I shouldn't have moved my. So let me see if I can do this here. This is, I gotta do this. Sorry, I didn't pre-plan this very well. Undo, please. Undo quickly. Thank you. Thank you. So this here is when you walk into a spiritual room. This is where I do my sessions. This is where I do my work. So this is my round table. But I can see, as I'm walking in the door, who's coming in, right? And my client, who doesn't necessarily want to be bombarded by the house's energy, which I know, they're going to sit where they're not bombarded by the energy. Okay, so my round table is kind of like, I have my own little medicine wheel in my room. Okay, so now that I'm looking at time here, 45. So I'm not going to be channeling, and I may not be able to do cards today. So I apologize. Okay, because I have about 15 minutes here to talk about house clearing. So when you're stirring up this energy, when you're stirring up a lot of these different things that are happening, remember, energy gets stagnant. So if you're getting in a closet that you haven't gotten into, holy chromodome, you're going to be moving things. If you're moving your bed, you're moving a lot of energy, right? And so you may want to, sorry, my cat got a fish, and it's that one that wiggles around. So if you hear something in the background, that you want to be able to clear the energy of that. So one way you can do that would be ringing a bell. Okay. And you want to ring a bell over it. You can clap over an area to clear the energy. You also can take sage, right? You take sage and you burn it safely, and you just do a little bit of clearing. Now remember, ashes can fall off this, so be careful. So you can take an energy. Now remembering, when you are clearing an energy, you want to start, it's almost like sweeping a room. You want to start in one area, and you sweep all that energy in, and you want to brush it out the door, or out the window that is open. Okay. Especially when you're clearing out a lot of anger, frustration, and depression and that kind of stuff, because that's pretty stagnant energy. And so when you're thinking about that, you want to move it out. So that's why sometimes to open up windows and brush the energy out. So I have feathers. I don't have my feathers out right now because of my cat, but I have a feather, and remembering that feathers hold energy. So if you have a hawk feather, you remember then that that's going to be the hawk's energy, getting the greater vision. If you have a crow's energy, so be careful of what feathers you choose, because that is also the energy of what you're flinging around too. Okay. Like I said, this is a lot. So if this doesn't make sense, remember I can always teach a class, and it's a little bit slower. This is only an hour show. So remembering though, that if you're sitting in the same place on a couch and you're wondering why you're still stagnant, well, do you sit there when you're done with your day every day? Is that next to an energy where there's a window maybe that is having a lot of cars driving down that road and hitting that window? And so you're picking up all that energy. So remembering that the energy flows with energy. And so if you're finding that you're getting stagnant, have you ever picked up a pillow of a couch and took it out and banged it and then brought it back? Think about that. And also, too, if you're thinking about things, um, what would you, when you're having a really busy night sleeping and you're like overwhelmed with things, have you ever thought about shaking out your pillow? Do you realize how much mental energy your pillow has? So remembering that um, things have energy, and the energy holds energy. So remembering that you can clap, like there's many times I clap, like if my husband has a very hard night's sleep, his body is achy and that kind of stuff, and I've been busy, full moon changing energies and that kind of stuff, that you there's energy. So I'll go along and I'll clap over my bed, or I'll ring one of my bells. Remember I had that bell in my health corner, right? And I'll ring the bell over it to kind of clear that energy out. And then I ask, you know what? You know who's a great one when you're vacuuming the house? Have you ever thought about asking Archangel Michael to vacuum with you? Oh, he's a great cleaner. He's a great cleaner of energy. So going into this, that there's a lot of it. Now, I don't want to make it complicated. Remembering that, I have pictures in my house. They feel right to me. But if you are in your own home and a picture doesn't feel right to you, that's your feng shui of your house. If it feels right to you, then it's your feng shui of your house. Because remembering that pictures represent different to everybody. You can have a picture of a desert, and it's like life to somebody, where to me it might feel like desert and dryness, but I would not put a picture of a desert in your financial corner, right? I'd want something that is life and vibrant and story and ability, but you'd want to have some reds and blues. Now, if you remember in the picture around that waterfall in my spiritual room here, what color is the window or the frame? It's a red. So that is the color of and the dresser is red. Do you see the cloth that I have on that dresser? It's red. So things can have abilities that way. Now the amethyst is purple, right? So coming into this, and Dina, thank you. You would love to have a class. I would love to do a class. So I'm going to put it on my website. And if you are interested, please email me at natasha@intuitiveclarifications.com. And I would be grateful to do this. And now I might do this where I might have like 5 modules that I already have going on here that go into depth. And then I'm going to have some live conversations that I can help you through your own home. So going into this, remembering that you can be perfectly imperfect at doing this. I am perfectly imperfect about doing this. I have stagnant areas. I have things that are struggling, right? But when you're in this, remembering that sometimes when you go through, now for me, what I do is I love to feng shui. I do not like to clean my house. So what do I do when I'm going to clean? I shift up the energy. When I'm needing to do something different, I'm shifting up the energy. So like the other night, My closet is, when I'm sleeping, I look at my closet and I do a numberology for my days. So certain days are certain colors. So today is pink. This shirt is a light pink. And so I have my clothes organized for colors. So black is with black, white is with white, pink is with pink, blue is with blue. And it doesn't matter what it is, but it was getting a little discombobulated and a little bit full. I have too much. I have too much. I went through depression a couple years ago and I got too much. I was a collector, not a minimalist. So going into this, that now I'm shifting out a lot of that collecting that I thought, oh, I like this sweater, but then I don't ever wear it. Why do I have it? I usually pick other sweaters, right? So thinking about that, when you let things go, new can come in. So, energy is shifting right now. So if you're having troubles thinking, do I want to keep? Do I want to get rid of? Right? Well, sometimes you have to think, what is this to me? What good is it doing? How often do I use it? This statue or this skull, Mikhail represents in this skull. Now, later in another maybe 10 years, Mikhail might want to go visit somebody else. I don't know, right? So thinking about that. Now, there's been one mantra that I've been having lately that's been saving me a lot of stress about because I like to buy is I need to go shopping in my own house. I need to go shopping in my own house. What do I have in my house that I can work with this? Now, the way that I like to organize things is like my counter might have things on them. Okay. But you go to my closet and batteries are with batteries. Tape is with tape. Um, Screwdrivers and equipment like that is with that equipment. You go into bags are on a shelf. All bags are on a shelf. All paper bags are on another shelf. All my rags are on another shelf. So my closets, if you look, are pretty organized. The thing is, though, sometimes when we're working with things that we struggle with putting things away. So another thing, when I was in a part where my life was pretty crazy, I had kids, I had life going on, I had a husband, I had things happening. So I would try to tell myself, because my mom was a hoarder, so I've been breaking a lot of those patterns, is that touch it once, right? So if I keep my drawers organized, if I keep my closet organized, then I can do a quick cleanup and put things away when I need to put things away. So that's how I've taught myself to practice to do better. And remembering that when you have kids, when you have life, when you are in the middle of moving, when you're in the middle of doing a lot of things, this is a perfect imperfect moment, right? But what we can do is we can do things through time. Pick a small place. If you're feeling overwhelmed with a house, pick pick a pick just one thing. Pick maybe I would pick this cabinet right here or one side of this cabinet. You don't have to be big. Pick one drawer of a dresser. Pick something. You don't have to do it all at one time. Pick one thing. Like the other day, I have one side of my closet is full it has like bags, Christmas, birthday, those kinds of bags. And it was feeling a little discombobulated, so I brought those baskets out and I reorganized them to do better. Now my clothes dresser was feeling a little bit tight, so I took out 2 or 3 tank tops, because all my tank tops are on the top drawer, my t-shirts are on the second drawer, and my long sleeves are on the third drawer. And I do colors. So first off, it starts with red, orange, yellow, green, and then it goes turquoise, navy blue, purple, and then it goes pink, and then it goes the browns and that kind of stuff. So all my dressers have that routine. So I have like things with like things. And when I've done that, then I can look at that purple top. I bought a purple top because I wanted a purple top, right? Well, I'm not wearing that purple top. So how many other purple tops do I have that I don't need that one purple top that I don't wear? So I did take out a couple of them, and that was helpful. So remembering when you release one or two things, it's amazing. I had sheets, and the sheets were something that I bought for my mother of heart, and I bought them like a week past the time that she was going to use them because she was ending her life. And I had them, and I had them, and I had them. I had them for at least 5 years, right, afterwards, thinking somebody would want them. They were brand new. I finally got rid of them. And you know what? I wish I could use them because I know somebody who can use them now. But you know what? After I did that, that whole closet changed. Uh, I moved, um, uh, I moved 2 rooms because I have a little room off my spiritual room here, and I have my closet, and I flip-flopped around everything, and I made that little room into my craft room, and I took all the business and put it in the closet. So when you release something, remembering that it can shift up a lot of things. So like you, Dina, thinking about taking your family pictures out of your room. Well, think about how much changing pictures in your house changes the energies of the house, right? Sometimes I felt like I need to move something and I don't want to move my house. I like my house. I don't want to move my house, but I've moved pictures in it. Oh my gosh, my house breathed. It had breath in it. So coming into this, remembering that shifting something shifts a lot. And so remembering, think about it. What has been stagnant? What needs the energy needs to move out? So remembering that, vacuuming, cleaning up, opening up doors, letting air move out. Have you ever taken the cushions out of your house and put them on your front porch if you have that ability, and let in the first springtime and letting the fresh air come in? Oh my gosh, it just changes the whole aspect of the energy. So remembering that energy is energy, life is life, and as you're going through life, you know, things need to move. Don't be afraid to move something. If it doesn't feel right, it's not the right feng shui for you. And that's the thing, is your ability to negotiate this is yours. It's your house, it's your energy field. Now, if you're living with somebody, you're going to have to compromise with that. Like this room is my spiritual room. It's me. In my front room, I have pictures of I have my husband's fish that he caught. I have pictures of eagles flying, like in my financial corner in my house, that I have a picture of 2 eagles flying over a waterfall. Right? So there's that ability, shaking and mooning, moving. Exactly. So, Kathy, I know you're moving things around a lot, and you're doing a great job. I'm just so proud of you. Wow. Being rearranging things in my house this weekend. It is, but remembering, like Veronica, you haven't been feeling good, so don't worry about that. But the thing is that when you're not feeling good and then you're feeling healthy again, that's a great time to move things, or at least shake out pillows and freshen up and vacuum and just even go outside and pound the if you have cushions on your couch, right, just go outside and even if it's snowing, just pound them out and bring them back in, because shaking up that stagnant energy of not feeling well can be a blessing. Remember to wash your sheets, not necessarily regularly, but if you've had a stressful night in your bed, don't be afraid to wash your sheets because your bed has been stagnant. And also go around and pound on your bed if you're shaking things up. Now, remembering that, if things are dusty, you're going to be doing that. So you may want to vacuum something first before you do that kind of stuff, right? Because things can get dusty. Take care of you. This is the year for you to take care of you. This is the time to be the healthy I. This is a 9 year with as a universal 9 year. And so we're going to be going through a lot of endings with new beginnings. So if you're stressed out about the realities about your life, about the outer world, do something for your inner world. Rearrange the furniture. Go through your closet. Think about how your refrigerator looks, right? Is that looking healthy the way the food is? Your closets, your cabinets. How is your silverware drawer? When you look into it, is it chaotic? Because if you're always getting into a chaotic a drawer, that's going to be chaotic to you, and it's hard to settle down. There's something in you that's always going to be busy, right? So if things are chaotic around you, there's always a part of you that's going to be chaotic. And that's why, for me, even though you saw the mess of the tissue paper with the cat, right? That's not chaotic to me yet. Now, I have walked through and picked up the little pieces that he's ripped apart, but I've also allowed him to have a place where he can just destroy, because I don't want him to destroy my good things. I want him to have a place where he can destroy. And so I'm giving him that, but I'm not letting it to be too, um, like it's time for me to fluff up and maybe give him a cleaner piece of paper, right? Because of things ripped out too much. So this is a year. Be you, take care of you. And remembering that change is a good thing, because every ending is a new beginning. So even though this is a 9 year, endings create new beginnings. And as we have blessings and as we do things, life is about change. So handle change with what you can manage. So if something doesn't feel right, I've been saying this before, then shift it, move it just a little bit. Sometimes just moving something just a little bit. And Kathy, you know this. We just moved something just a little bit and allowed things to breathe. Okay? I'm going to say this again. If you are looking for having a class, I am interested in doing this. I do have a couple videos that I was going to put together for the class, and that kind of go into a little bit slower detail, and then you can watch them at your leisure, and then I can put them together. So I'm thinking about doing this maybe in the month at the end of February, maybe, is what I'm thinking about for this class, because it might take me a little bit to get it organized, because that's only 6 weeks away, right? So I'm going to put it on my website and put a date out there for you, and I would love to have you sign up. So if you are interested, Dina, thank you for wanting to be interested, because I love doing this. And what would be included in the class is a Feng Shui, basic Feng Shui. Now remember, I'm not a licensed Feng Shuiist, but I've practiced for over 25 years. 30 years? How long have I been in this house? 30 years, I think. And so going into this, that it has been a practice to do better. It is a practice to knowing. It's a practice to be where you are. And so I would love to support you in that. And then I would also include how to cleanse your house. I would also, there's one more thing that would be coming in this, but I would be wanting to help you do this. And also, too, I would give a discount on doing house clearings and blessings. And I can do that remote. So with that, remembering that we are all miracles in the works. We're all in the middle of life changing, and life is about change. So walk with change with your understanding, right? If something doesn't feel right, move it to where it does. Okay? And that even includes your mentalness, your emotions, and your health. Move it to where it's better for you. I'm Natasha Venter at intuitiveclarifications.com, loving you through this story of the 2025 year. If you are looking for a private session in doing this negotiation or any other life situations, I have time in my schedule for private sessions. Would be grateful to support you in that life journey. I am all about helping people through their emotional story to negotiate through your abilities to be you. I have an understanding. We are moving up in dimensions, but we still have a body that has emotions with old stories in it, or stories that need to work through. And like my friend Kathy said, which gave me a moment, that she told me, it's amazing how you love and let things sift through that aren't yours, but hold the things that you need to know. That's what I do for you. I love and I support. Helping through the emotions, helping through the mentalness so that your body and your emotions and your story can be healthier. I'm Natasha Venter, intuitiveclarifications.com. I have not checked in with Regan. Next week is the third week, and Regan might be here. Regan Forston is a hypnotherapist with the Newton Institute and has studied with Diane Cannon. I think I said that right. And he might be here. If not, I'm thinking I might talk about the Chinese New Year, as the end of this month is when the Chinese New Year changes. Blessings be to you. I'm Natasha Venter, intuitiveclarifications.com. Remember, we're all miracles in the works. Bye now. Oh, also, remember, I have short videos all through the week to support you in your life's journey. Please, if you like, share. If you know somebody who can use this, please share it, because I know we're all going through something right now. Thank you very much. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I am so grateful to support. Bye now.